I mean, let me take you back. You said this is something that is going to be revolutionary. When it started, there was all indication that it was going to be a government grant for those who, are in the lower cut of the economy. It transitioned to a zero-rated loan. At some point now we hear it's going to attract an 8% interest. I mean, how sure would we be as a country that we are not faced with a lot of grey areas that may hurt us in the course of implementing this fund, that a lot has not been addressed yet, that may just surprise us along the way?
I don't think there are any more surprises we expect. As per the report by Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the rate of inflation as at October 2022 was at 9.6%. So we're talking about an inflation rate of being 9.6%, and therefore when we're saying that the fee or the interest rate at this 8%, it's around 0.000, I think 0.0067. I might not be so accurate on that per day, and therefore this 8% just goes on to the administration of the fund. And again, we're focusing a lot about the Hustlers Fund, but let me tell you what. This discussion about opening up lending or increasing accessibility of credit to SMEs or to local managers has done. I think it was yesterday the Kenya Development Corporation and the Kenya National Chambers of Commerce said that they're introducing, I think, 5 to 10 to 100 million shillings loan to small and medium enterprises at very competitive interest rates, almost indicating that they'll be able to do that at 8%. So the discussion about this Hustlers Fund is, as a country, to the private sector, how do we make loans accessible at a cheap rate to people? And this is what we're starting with the Hustlers Fund. And I'm really praying that this project really succeeds, it is going to show even the private sector that you do not need all the bureaucracies to lend to these people. And to give us a different example, those people that, the boda riders, for example, if we have found people, and let me not call them unscrupulous, but let me call you shrewd business people that have realized to escape the financial net of registering as financial institutions, they're now directly selling these motorcycles to boda riders, but as a loan. And these boda people will pay for this loan until when they are just like 2 months to the end of the loan. If they default at that particular time, the owner of this or the seller is very quick to repossess them. And there's no protection of these people. It's repossessed, they lose all the money that they have saved, or they are told if you have to get it back, then first of all we're charging you a penalty of 10,000 shillings. And you're talking about, let us open this conversation about access to loan facilities for these people. And I think what you're going to see in the next few months is even a lot of the commercial digital lenders opening up their fiscal space, accessing loan facilities at better rates, at cheaper terms. And I'll take you back to...
But Kuria Kimani, when you talk about that in terms of opening up the market, is what you suggest, does then this mean the funds will support consumer in terms of the loans in competition with commercial banks, for example, and mobile-based credit providers? Yes,
without fear of contradiction, is that this government fund is going to give competition to the private sector, to the private providers of the service. And when that happens, then the private sector has to react by changing the model in which they are lending. And for example, just to give an example, I think after discussion with Central Bank, there was this concession that was done for digital loans on all commercial banks. So by us starting to have a conversation that let's delist people from CRB, let us change the credit scoring for the people that borrow, that borrow. Let us make this accessible. We have had now banks sitting down and writing off their digital loans with the help of Central Bank, and therefore it's opening up this space and making sure that no bank, no digital lender is going to harass the small and medium, the small and micro enterprises anymore. Because you have to match what Hustler Fund is doing. And I'm really praying that it succeeds, so that when it's shown that it's possible and the fund is able to run itself, it's going to be sustainable, then it's going to, again, open up. You're going to find other, quote-unquote, Hustler funds by private sector.